Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now, today's episode, we were talking about everyone's favorite credit card family, American Express. This time, focused on all the product change rules within the house that you need to know about. So, we will go through each individual lineup. We'll talk about the rules, the options you have, as well as some potential strategies and pitfalls you want to avoid before you commit to making any sort of change. So, of course, if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, really quick here before we jump into it, I have dedicated videos on upgrading and downgrading cards that I will link down below. They're just general. They're not specific to any one issuer, but product changing is basically what that means. With the product change, you can either change a card to up, like move up a level from like green to gold maybe, or you can go down from gold to green. And, the short story of this is, you would want to consider this if, you have a card maybe that has an annual fee and you don't really want to pay the annual fee anymore in year number 2, but you also don't want to close the card, right? So sometimes you can look for a downgrade path and move it to a no annual fee card, keep the account open, and then, keep moving. You wouldn't have to worry about that falling off of your credit report. So that's just a quick summary on product change, but of course more details and linked videos down below. Now before we go further, we do have to talk about some rules with American Express now that we know what product changing is. So on screen you have some do's and don'ts, things to consider here. So first of all, the card must be open for 1 year. Anytime you try to make a change to a card that's been open less than 1 year, even canceling it, American Express is going to take offense to that. And they will likely do it for you, but they will end up clawing back your points. And even if you've spent the points, you'll end up with a negative points balance. Now, in addition to that, there's also the Credit Card Act that kind of protects card holders from having issuers charge a higher annual fee in year number 1. So really, if you were trying to, move from a $95 annual fee card up higher, they would want to do that, but they can't charge you a higher annual fee in year number 1 because of the rule. Now, in addition to those, you do have to stay within the same family of cards, meaning you can change a Hilton card to a Hilton card, but you couldn't change a Hilton card to a Marriott card, and we'll illustrate this when we go through all the families of cards. And again, with the same rules here, you cannot change a personal card to a business card. You also have to stay in the same points currency. So with Amex, some of their cards, may all be Amex branded cards, but some earn membership reward points or MR points. Others earn cash back. You cannot, change between those two. In addition to that, the most important thing here really is to note is, if you are going to make a product change to a card that you have not had before, you will not be eligible for a sign-up bonus. So if you went from green to gold, perhaps, if you never had a gold sign-up bonus, you can't get that because technically it is, it's not opening a new account. Bonuses are reserved for opening new accounts and you're just changing it. Now, the good news, though, is, your credit card number will stay the same. Your credit history will stay the same as well, but no bonuses. And of course the timing does matter because, again, if you do this within 30 days of the annual fee posting, that full annual fee will be refunded to you if you're moving out of an annual fee card. Now, if you do it after that, then they're probably going to prorate you, refund some level of the annual fee depending on how many months, after that initial posting has been. And year number 2, I should say, and that's regardless of if you've used the card or not, doesn't matter. So those are some rules we need to keep in mind for this. Now, with Amex, before we get to the individual options, they do have some optionality before we even talk about product changing. So the first one is Amex actually does offer retention offers on occasion. I have a full video on retention offers. I'll link down below. But, the short story of it is if you phone in, you're like, hey, look, I'm not really feeling this card anymore. What are my options? I'm thinking about canceling it. They can offer you a retention offer, which is basically a mini sign-up bonus. They have multiple forms of this. It can be just, hey, here's 10,000 amount of points just to keep it, or you have to do so much spend in 90 days to keep it, what have you. It just kind of varies. They'll say, hey, I'm going to go review your account and then, see if what they can do for you, if anything. And then again, if you take that, then you're opting to keep the card for 1 more year, which means the rest of this product change stuff would not apply to you until the following year. So that can be a viable option as well. Now, the other thing before we get into the options is American Express is a little bit different from other issuers in the fact that they offer upgrade bonuses, right? So it's not uncommon to log into your account or go to the Amex page and let's just say you have the Hilton Honors card. And you can see, hey, there's an upgrade option starting in year number 2, so month 13 and beyond, to upgrade to like the Hilton Surpass card. And, sometimes they'll just pitch it as, hey, you can upgrade this card. I wouldn't do that, but sometimes if you get lucky, they offer you points, right? They say, hey, you can upgrade. It'll be like another mini sign-up bonus. It won't be the full-on sign-up bonus like the Hilton Surpass would have. This Surpass is like the card above the Honor, so you can see they're just going to want to move you up to the next tier. Now, these can be pretty interesting as well because there's also a way to double dip them, right? And a little bit off topic, but I'll touch on it here very quickly, and you can let me know if you want to see a separate video on it. So if you were offered an upgrade offer on the Hilton Honors, go from Honors to Surpass, let's just say they're offering 20,000 MR points to do that, right? You could do that, but what you would first want to do is, if you want to double dip it, you would apply for the Surpass card outright, get that sign-up bonus, you qualify for it's a new account, and then immediately after turn around and take the upgrade offer from Honors to Surpass. You'd effectively have 2 Surpass cards, but you have also been able to get sign-up bonus on the Honors card, a sign-up bonus on the Surpass, and an upgrade offer from Honors to Surpass. Which is pretty interesting setup that not a lot of other issuers do. But again, those are your options before you get to product changing. Now, when it comes to product changing, we're now going to walk through each card lineup family by family, talk about your options, what you have to look at. So we'll start with the most popular cards first. So on screen here you have, these are the charge cards. Again, Amex doesn't use this naming convention, but we all know the deal. Green, gold, platinum, personal on the left, and on the right-hand side you have business, platinum, business, gold, and then the business green card, which is still out there hanging on for some reason. So again, on the left-hand side you can see the up and down arrows because you can move between green, gold, and platinum, up or down. But the thing here to keep in mind is that all of these cards have annual fees. At the time of taping, platinum coming in at $695, gold at $250, and green at $150. So, upgrading, downgrading here doesn't really make a ton of sense in my point of view, especially if you haven't had all the sign-up bonuses yet. The X in the middle just notates that you cannot cross between personal and business. And the same on the business side, you can go from business, gold, platinum, and green up and down as you choose. And so if we move on, we take a pit stop at the platinum card individually. Again, this is the personal one. You can see there are multiple flavors of the platinum card. So on the left hand side we have the vanilla one, then we have the Schwab, the Charles Schwab, and then the Morgan Stanley. It is also worth noting those cards, those platinum cards with those weird designs on them that they came out with some time ago, those would fall underneath the vanilla platinum card. Those are still the same card, it's just a different design. But you cannot get those different designs on the Charles Schwab and the Morgan Stanley. So these are all three basically different products. Even though they earn membership reward points, you cannot go between them because you'd have to have a Schwab count to do the Schwab one. Morgan Stanley, go to the Morgan Stanley one, so they just don't let you cross them up there. So moving on to the MR credit cards now, membership reward earning credit cards. So again, we have the preferred and the regular version. You can go up and down between those two. Now, technically, the American Express Blue Business Plus card is a credit card that earns membership reward points. So I'm putting it here. I don't think there will be actually any confusion between crossing the two, but in case there is, you cannot, change between the two of these because of our business and personal rules. Now, if we take a look at the cashback credit cards, again, this is a more obscure one. We have the Blue Cash Preferred, which is a $95 annual fee, the Cash Magnate, and the Blue Everyday Cash card. I haven't actually seen anyone try to upgrade or downgrade to the Cash Magnate. I believe you could do it because, again, it's a cashback credit card on personal side, so you should be able to go through these three. And then on the right-hand side, you have the American Express Blue Business Cash card, again, business credit card, but it is business, so you cannot cross paths there. Now moving on, we have the airline cards. Then we have the Delta lineup. So Delta, on the personal side, you have 4 cards tapping out at the purple one, which is the reserve at $550, on down to the blue one, which has no annual fee. And then, you have your gold and platinums in the middle. Business as well, the business side does not have a blue card. So if you're playing Delta, for whatever reason you wanted to downgrade, here I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to downgrade to the blue one. The blue sign-up bonus is usually only about 10,000 miles. So, if for whatever reason you had maybe a high credit limit or a lot of history on one of those higher Delta cards, it might make sense. 10,000 miles isn't really that much, honestly. And of course, you can't cross the lines between personal and business, as we know by now. Next, we have the Hilton lineup. So again, Hilton, you have 3 personal cards here: Honor, Surpass, and Aspire. And we just have 1 Hilton business card. So again, we kind of get the formula by now, so you can see there. We'll switch to Marriott now just for simplicity's or completeness sake. We have the Marriott Bonvoy Personal and Business, so obviously you can't change between the two. The rest of the Marriott cards are with Chase. They kind of split up the portfolio. Now, there is kind of like a one-lane rule here as well, where if you get the sign-up bonuses on the Amex Marriott cards, and you can't get the bonuses on the Chase Marriott cards. So just really quick to keep that in mind, but again, just for product change's sake, there's not really any other options here. Last set we have is the Amazon Business cards. Now, this isn't really more of an upgrade or downgrade. Really here, the Business Prime card requires an Amazon Prime membership. So if you were to stop renewing your Amazon Prime membership, you would just be dropped down to the regular Amazon Business card. It's not really an upgrade or downgrade, but again, it is in the lineup, so throwing it in there for completeness. Now, the last set we have here is what I call no product change pass. So the Lowe's one shouldn't be too surprising. American Express Business Plum card is interesting because it's kind of a charge card in the fact that they say it has no preset spending limit, and it does have the option for cash back. It's 1.5x back, I think, or you get an extended period to pay on your purchases, but it's in a weird spot. I couldn't find any way to upgrade or downgrade it. It's such a unique card that I don't think people will really want to upgrade or downgrade. If you get the Plum, you kind of know what you're doing, but I couldn't find a definitive answer, so I'm putting it here in the no product change path for now. But if you know different, feel free to let me know. Keep me honest down below. And so, guys, there we have it. That is the full American Express catalog as of mid-2022 and all the product change, upgrade, downgrade options that you have. Now, overall, again, I think it's pretty self-explanatory here. The only real issue that Amex has is, up front, they don't really have a downgrade path to no annual fee cards. It's one thing that I think Chase does really well, and I have a video like this about Chase that I can link for you down below if you're more of a House of Diamond person. It would be nice if they had something below the green card that you could just have as a $0 card that doesn't have to do a whole lot. It can just serve as a place to keep your credit history active. So there is that. So again, when you get into American Express, just be careful. Now, the other thing here is, when you get into green, gold, and platinum space, for the most part, those are not people's first card, right? So I had the platinum, I had the golden. I didn't mind canceling it. I wasn't going to downgrade it to the green just to hold on to it, right? Because again, it's a charge card still technically, so if you close it, you're not losing credit limit because there's no credit limit to, take away from. And then again, because I got it so much later in the game, I have so many other cards that, losing those cards and that little bit of history doesn't really hurt me that much. And so honestly, I would probably go that way. Now, for everything else, again, especially with the co-branded, I would always look for those upgrade offers first and just try to maximize my points. But again, I'm kind of greedy like that, so maybe you're not as much, but at least you have optionality in the rest of the lineup. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. If you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, of course, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, posting content just like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Of course, right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. Of course, my question for you guys is let me know what some of your upgrade, downgrade strategies have been with American Express. How many of you take advantage of those upgrade offers, those double dipping strategies, if you will? I'd love to get your thoughts and see what you guys are doing out there to get maximum value. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon in the next one.